So just have a think about how many parties you do. And obviously my message here is that you need to do parties often. The more you do, the easier it gets. And I don't know any successful business in any field, any industry, that's only open for business once or twice a month. So if you want a successful business, obviously yours needs to be open more often than that. Eventually what you'll find is that it will become just like riding a bike. Because once you're good at the party, it just goes like clockwork. You can absolutely relax about sales and bookings. They're going to come automatically, and that's when you can focus on recruiting and building the business, because you can focus on those and not worry about the other things. Now, I really like the analogy of the aeroplane, and you might have heard this already, but I think it's fantastic for our business. It does take a tremendous amount of energy for a plane to get off the ground. If it was to exert that amount of energy throughout its entire flight, it just simply wouldn't get very far. It would crash and burn. It would run out of fuel and it would just burn out. And that's actually what it's like when we're only doing parties every now and then. We feel tired and burnt out. Once we get some momentum though, it's easier and it takes a lot less energy. Just like when the plane is flying high and cruising, it doesn't use very much fuel to get up there at all. To stay up there, I should say. So it's like that when we're doing parties, and same for our business. I always found that if I was doing one a week or less, I was exhausted. And when I was doing 3 or 4 a week, I was pretty much on a bit of a high. And I'm wondering if anyone has actually found the same thing. Quite a few of us have experienced that if you're doing more parties, you feel better. And I think this is probably because we're more excited. We're on a bit of an adrenaline rush. We're obviously earning more money. The parties become so easy, it's really like riding a bike, and I think it's just better for all-round self-esteem. Now I know that we all want to be successful, and I know that because we're direct sellers, one of the great things about being in the party plan business is that we get exposed to an awful lot of personal development, and that's been one of the best things that I've probably got from Party Plan. But if you go to any book on success, you'll actually find that you can probably boil it down to this one sentence. They all boil down to the same thing, and that is that success is knowing where you are, where you want to be, and then having a plan to get there. So we've just been talking about the knowing where you are part, and now we're going to work on the next bit, which is where you want to be and having a plan to get there. Okay, before we start filling our diary, we need to find out exactly how much time we have available for parties. It's all very well learning how to fill it and get hundreds of bookings, but we need to know what filling means for you. So this again depends on whether you're doing a hobby or building an empire or something in between. So it's really no good saying, I want to do 4 or 5 a week if you actually simply don't have space. But as well as that, if you're only managing to do 1 party a week, and you feel so busy that there's simply not enough time to do any more, you might find this activity helps you quite a bit, because you might find out that you can actually do more than you thought. And many of us do use a weekly planner of some sort, but it is really important that you use it properly. And if you spend 10 minutes every Sunday afternoon or Sunday night just doing planning, you're going to find that not only does your life go more smoothly, but your business will start to fly as well. And it's the sort of thing that's really easy to get out of the habit of. But every time I've got out of the habit of it, everything seems to come crashing around my ears, and then I remember to do this and everything goes smoothly. So give it a go. What you need to do first of all is put into or block off all of the time that are commitments that can't be moved. So this might be, you might have a job other than your business, you might help at school, there might be all sorts of things that you do that cannot be moved. Once you've blocked those bits of time off, block off personal and family commitments. So these are things that must be in your diary, but they're a little bit more flexible, so they might change from week to week. Make sure that you include me time in there. It's really important, and we all know it's important, but most of us don't make time for it. It is important. The other things that are important are your relationships, your family, your children. When things get very busy in the business, it's very easy just to cancel these things, and then we end up in a place of feeling guilty all the time. So at the beginning of the week, make sure you've got all of these things slotted in there. I've just noticed that I haven't got friends on there, and that's important as well, so you probably should put friends in there too. Everything that's important is in there. So these are appointments just like any other appointment in your week. They might be able to be slightly flexible in their timing, but they can't be cancelled. That means you don't have to feel guilty when you're doing your work, because once you've got everything important to you in there, what's left is solely available for your business. Now, your business might be training. You might have to go to training. You might have to do deliveries, phone calls, planning, whatever. There's all sorts of things. But what we're really interested in are the slots where you can do parties. So this is all helping you work out how many parties you can do in a week. Now, you can probably see on my time plan that I've got plenty more slots in there. If I wanted to, I could probably do 6 or 7 parties in this week, but it's only an example. So we'll just say that I can do 3 parties in a week.